If you've ever been someone who's been interested in learning more about nutrition and getting really specific with macros, but then anytime someone says macros or suggests them, you're like, I don't know what that is and it's scary and I don't want to learn it, this video is for you. Now, this is part 2 of a series of videos I'm going to be doing really to shine light on macronutrients, because while they can seem a little bit overwhelming if you don't know really big picture what they are, they're really not. And so with a few simple videos, I think I can have you understanding them quite well, and then you're going to be ready to dig in. So in video 1, we talked about just what are some of the different terminologies that we see show up on different scans and different reports. So if you haven't already, go to my Well-Fed Health macro calculator. Or seriously, pause this video, go do it, get your numbers, and come back, because we're going to be talking about what some of those mean in this video. All right, so just as a recap from last week, the first number that you're going to see come up on any sort of calorie macro calculator that you're going to use is a number called BMR. And from the last video, remember, BMR stands for basal metabolic rate. This is the amount of calories that your body would burn and need for just healthy function if all you did was lay around all day. That second number on there is total daily energy expenditure. This is the amount of calories that your body uses when you include all the other beautiful things that you do in a day, getting up and going to work and taking care of kids and exercising. All of these are going to increase the amount of calories that your body consumes. Now, that TDEE, or total daily energy expenditure, that's basically your maintenance calories, all right? That is the number that coaches use, or that you could use, or that my calculator uses to come up with a calorie target. If your goal is to maintain weight, you would want to eat right at your TDEE. If your goal is to lose weight, you would consider subtracting probably 350 to 500 calories from that TDEE. And if you're interested in building weight, we would add to that TDEE. And that's really all this math game is with calculators. All right, we come up with your maintenance, and then if we want to lose weight, we need to be in a little bit of a deficit. If we want to sustain weight, we kind of hang out right there. And if we want to build weight, we put more energy into your body so that we can build. All right, now let's talk about what that means in terms of macronutrients. So counting calories will get you far. If you really want to advance whatever physique or health goals that you have, also looking at the percentage of macronutrients that you're consuming is important. And what that means is really, it's just a more advanced or technical way of counting calories. And it means that we're going to take this total amount of calories that we're eating, and we're going to make sure that a certain amount of those calories come in the way of protein. And we're going to make sure that a certain amount of those calories come in the way of carbohydrates. And we're going to make sure that a certain amount of calories comes from fat. Now, in the next few videos, we're going to break down protein, carbohydrates, and fats a little bit more specifically, talk about what they do for your body, what are some good targets to shoot for. But in this video, I want to talk about how coaches will come up with those roughly. And it all will typically start with protein, all right? So we've got your total calorie target, and then we look at this person and we take everything that we know about them and we say, what should their protein target be, all right? Now, most coaches will set someone up with about 0.7 grams of protein, up to a gram of protein per pound of body weight, or ideal body weight. So if you're someone who's trying to lose weight and you're at a heavier weight than you anticipate being at as you lose weight, it could be that your protein target is lower than your current body weight and is a little bit closer to your ideal body weight. So that's going to be step 1. Again, 0.7 to 1.0 grams of protein per pound of body weight or ideal body weight. All right. Now that's going to take up a certain percentage of our calories. And then we're going to have these calories left over that we're going to designate for either carbohydrates or fats, right? Now, the body uses carbohydrates in a pretty amazing way, and so does the brain. So me personally as a coach, the bare minimum that I would ever set someone's carbohydrates at is about 130 grams of carbohydrates. So as you're getting into this, it would be important to me that you try not to go below that line, because you're really day over day going to start to feel some fatigue with that, and probably some brain fog. All right. And then as your activity level increases, so is that amount of carbohydrates. to support your body. Now, if you're using my calculator, it's gonna just do that math for you based off of the information that you put in there. And then fat is another one that I will rarely put someone below about 60 to 65 grams of fat. That's kind of the lower end, simply because your body really needs a certain amount of dietary fat just to keep our hormones and our cells healthy and happy. So those are two of the lower threshold numbers. And then again, depending on your different body metrics from there, it's going to kind of come up from there. So you've got your total calories. The first thing that we do is say, of these total calories, how much do we want to invest in protein? And then we take whatever calories that we have left over and we build those into carbohydrates and fats. Now, to take it one step further for you in this video, I'm going to talk to you about how all of that comes together. Calories are really just an addition of the different macronutrients. So 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. It doesn't matter what the protein is. 1 gram of protein, 4 calories. 1 gram of carbohydrates is also 4 calories. 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. That's why high-fat foods are so delicious. They're succulent. They have more energy embedded in them. So again, 4 calories per gram of protein, 4 calories per gram of carbohydrates, and 9 calories per gram of fat. Well, why is that important? Well, if someone or a coach gives you macros, maybe they say, I want you to eat 150 grams of protein and 150 grams of carbs and 65 grams of fat. If you were to multiply those, right, if you were to take that 150 grams of protein times 4 calories, and that 150 grams of carbs times 4 calories, and that 65 grams of fat times 9 calories, and then you added those up, that would come up with your calorie target. All right. So calorie targets are really simply just like a result of the macronutrient targets that you have. It's not really two separate things. It's not calories and macros. It's whatever macros that you have here add up to a certain calorie amount. Thanks for sticking around. In the next videos, we're really going to break down what these proteins do for your body, why they're important, what these carbohydrates do for your body, why they're important, what these fats are, what they do for your body, and why they're important, and some good selections that you can make from each of those to be putting together a really healthy, macro balanced meal with or without tracking your foods. Thanks for being here. Subscribe if you're enjoying this. Like I said, this is part 2 of a multi-video series. Stick around. There's power in knowing. Bye.